Tennessee This Week from WATE's 6 on Your Side starts now.
Coming up on Tennessee This Week, Farragut in transition, a leader stepping into a new role after the passing of one of the town's founders. Randy Boyd from running for governor to possibly leading the University of Tennessee. And a Supreme Court nominee under more scrutiny after a claim from his past resurfaces. Coming up on Tennessee This Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tennessee This Week. I'm Kristen Farley. The town of Farragut has a new mayor after the death of former Mayor Ralph McGill. He was a founding father, and his passing sparks the question of what is next for this relatively young community. Well, last week, I had the chance to sit down with Farragut's new mayor, Ron Williams, talking about the way forward under his leadership. All right, Mayor Williams, thank you so much for coming in.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
You've only been in office now for a couple of months, so let's talk about how is that transition going?
Transition is going fine. As an alderman for 2 years, I kind of knew what we had to do as far as the meetings. The meetings are televised, and so you have to be prepared for that. And then I also sit on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and so I've been on that. This is the second term on that. So I kind of knew what was going to happen when we would have to do things and how it was going to go down.
For people who aren't familiar, you're following in the footsteps of one of Farragut's founder and the former Mayor Ralph McGill, who I also know was a friend and who passed away this spring.
Yes.
Let's talk about, he had a very strong vision for the town of Farragut when he fought to get annexed and to become its own incorporated town. He was very passionate about keeping storefronts and signage and Kingston Pike still having that quaint feel, if you will. How are you going to move forward and keep his mission alive? Is that still important to you?
Still important to me and to the other aldermen and our town administrator and the staff. We've got a great staff that work real well together because of this vision of keeping the town more like what it is. We call it smart growth. It's what they teach you in classes that I go to, and that's as far as road design, you know, land use, your zoning, all that is part of what you learn and what I had to learn because I'm a retired engineer, and so I had classes to go to learn what all that meant because I didn't know. You know, it was.
A lot of people don't realize the struggles that the founders went through to actually become the town of Farragut. Let's talk just a little bit about that and why it was so important back some, what, 30 years ago?
38 years ago.
Wow.
We're 38 years young. We're a very young town, and of course we're incorporated. They incorporated in 1980, and you cannot do that anymore. I'm sure Hardin Valley would love to do it, but it's state law prevents that now. But back then, development was rampant. The builders were building as quick as they could put stuff up. The town was flooding. Stormwater was being control was being ignored. And it just so happened that Ralph and Marianne McGill lived in Village Green where all the flooding was going on. And so to get to their house after a rain event, you had to wait to get there. And so they thought that there had to be a better way. They went downtown Knoxville and they would sit there and wait their turn to complain, and then it would time out, and then they'd go back home again without the chance. So 7 of them got together, and they come up with all the ordinances, the different zonings, and a town charter, and they put it all together. With one of them happened to be a lawyer, and on a weekend that somebody was out of town, they went down to Nashville and filed the incorporation papers.
All right, let's talk real quickly all these ordinances and the mission of becoming your own town. Some businesses have complained before, called in here and said, it is so strict trying to get into the town of Farragut. They have so many rules about signage, and they're not as business friendly as you might think. What do you say to that?
Well, at one time that was the perception, and that's a bad perception for us, but and we try to overcome that daily. We have recently hired some a new part of our staff that will be point people. That was one of my goals, was to make sure that we had point people. Whether you be a small businessman, a builder, or just a regular citizen. If you had something that you needed to talk about, need to have done, then there would be a person for you to go to. And that's the perception that we're changing. It's a new thing, relatively new, but we're there.
Working on it. And speaking of change, there's been a lot of talk, and you and I discussed this a little bit earlier. There were plans a decade or so ago to build a town center, so to speak, on some farmland that didn't come to fruition, but we're seeing a lot of construction out there, right there at the corner of Campbell Station, Kingston Pike. So is this going to be the new gateway, so to speak? What are we looking at there as all this is coming together?
Well, that was all put out right before the little dip in the economy, and when that happened, then a lot of the developers got cold feet. But we recently, the last couple of years, they have a big convention out in Las Vegas, shopping center convention, and we send staff out to try to recruit new business in order to put this town center together. And it's still on the horizon. It's really just getting the developers and the landowners involved with each other. We don't own the land; there's landowners, so we have to put the two of them together, and it has to be a developer that has the same vision, that wants to bring in, a mixed-use type of development.
Right. Real quickly, big plot of land with the old Kroger shopping center across from Farragut High School. It sat vacant for so long. So many people have asked why and what's going to be done with that. Do you have plans for that? Well,
of course, the owner would probably have plans for it. We'd like to use it for sure for a town center. That will be up to the owner. It's had a 40-year ground lease, and that will expire here next year. And at that point, I think the owner will be looking to do something with it.
And we'll be looking to see what comes of that property there, and if you can kind of clue us in. Let's move on to something earlier last week. We had a chance to talk about a fourth grader who's running for alderman. Right. We're talking about Lauren Johns. For that's open position that you vacated to become mayor. We sat down with her earlier this week to find out why she's running and what she hopes for the town of Farragut. So take a listen to one of the things she told us.
Okay. I would like to have live dinosaurs in parks. I'd like to have a vegetable garden in the parks. I'd like to have a climbing wall in a little community building.
Lauren has some big plans there. Dinosaurs in the parks, that's something we all might want to see. On a more serious note, state law actually prohibits anyone under the age of 18 from serving in a municipal office. So we know she cannot serve, obviously, but she's on the ballot. She's on the website. So let's talk about why it was important for you to kind of open this door for her.
Well, it's not really a ballot. She applied, and our town charter does not distinguish that between who can and who can't, although they do need to be living on the south side of Kingston Pike, which is Ward 2, and they need to be a resident on the south side for over a year. And of course she does fit that bill. But we have a strong relationship with our students, and with her, she wanted to do that. She wanted to experience that. So this afternoon, she had the opportunity to sit down with all four of us, one by one, and with her resume, and we got to ask her questions, and she got to answer. And yeah, them dinosaurs is something she's really wondering about. So.
But you said there's a chance in the future that you usually have a student sitting on all your boards, and so this is something that she probably will do here in the near future.
I'd say so. She's 9. Most of the time, the students that we have on the boards and committees are either a junior, aspiring junior, or a senior. And the ones that we've had in the past and the ones we have currently are all great students. They have a political science mind about them, and they want to be involved, and we want them to be involved.
Yeah, great opportunity for the town. Real quickly, we're almost out of time, but I do want to ask you, moving forward, what would you say are the town of Farragut's biggest struggles, and what would you say is your biggest goal as the mayor?
Well, goals we'll start off with, because the struggles are perception from the past. The goals are to get the community senior center up and going. We have a park expansion on the horizon, which will be tennis courts, pickleball courts, and a dog park.
Nice.
It's a 52-acre park. We're using like 15 acres of it. It's got a splash pad. You may have seen that, but that's on the horizon. And then to fill some of the empty buildings that are coming, due as far as being able to fill them. And I think really the town center. That's, but again, the perception is the only struggle we have. And as we add more staff to handle some of these issues, we're getting
and a lot of new businesses moving in. You said 80-some ribbon cuttings.
In the past 3 years,
wow.
I've done 80 ribbon cuttings on as a welcoming person with Farragut West Knox Chamber. So I try to be there. I have been at all but one, and
wonderful.
We really enjoy our new business. A lot of people think that people are not moving in, but they are.
But they are.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Still to come, UT trustees consider making Randy Boyd the university's interim president. Our panel of pundits weighing in next. Stay with us. You're watching Tennessee This Week on WATE 6 on your side.